Hey guys, Josh up here with a video on the overview of the new Season 5 jungle changes. This video isn't going to analyze any of the changes or go over them in any specific detail, but if you do want to know what the changes are and you have no idea what's going on, this video will definitely help you out. I also plan on making more in-depth videos about these changes, so if you do want to find things in a little more detail, I'll link to those videos in the description. The two biggest changes in the new Season 5 jungle are with items and with monsters, and how Smite interacts with both of those things. In the new jungle, you'll find your Smite is a lot more valuable, as you not only need it for clearing, but also to get the extra benefits that come with using your Smite on monsters, and even in some cases enemy players. Firstly, let's take a look at the new jungle items. Your machete fills the same role but has slightly different stats. It now has on-hit damage and also gives you regen while you're in combat with jungle monsters. From this machete, you can then buy one of 4 upgrades. All of these different upgrades do different things to enhance your Smite. These two jungle upgrades are on a similar tier level as the old Spirit Stone. The first of these upgrades, the Stalker's Blade, allows you to cast your Smite on an enemy champion to do reduced true damage and also slow them for 50% for 2 seconds. Secondly, with the Poacher's Knife, whenever you smite a monster in the enemy jungle, your smite cooldown is reduced by half, you get 20 bonus gold, and also when it dies, you are given a small burst of speed. Next is the Skirmisher's Saber, which allows you to smite enemy champions again, but this time dealing no damage, instead marking them. Marked targets take extra damage from your basic attack and deal 20% less damage to you. And lastly, there is the Ranger's Trailblazer. When you buy this, your smite cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds, and your smite also does half its damage to all the monsters and minions around your smite target. In addition to this, it also stuns all of those targets for 1.5 seconds, and casting on a monster, not a minion, will heal you for 15% of your missing health and mana. Once you bought that jungle upgrade and you have enough gold, you can then enchant it for extra stats. Any one of these upgrades can receive any one of these 4 enchantments, but you can only have one at any given time. Think of this as the same as how boots work currently. Right now you have your tier 1 boots into tier 2 boots into your boot enchantment. It's the same with the jungle items, except you have your machete into your upgrade into your jungle enchantment. The difference between the enchantments with your boots and your jungle items is that with your boots it tends to be more utility focused, whereas your jungle item enchantments give you loads of stats. For example, you can have an enchantment called Warrior, which increases your AD by 45, gives you 10% CDR and 10 armor pen. In addition to that, you have one called Magus or Magus, whichever one you prefer, which gives you 80 AP and 20% CDR. You also have one called Juggernaut, which gives you 500 health, 10% CDR and tenacity. And finally, you have Devourer, which gives you 50% attack speed and 40 magic damage on hit. Whenever you kill a large monster, this on-hit damage increases by 1, and your kills and assists increase by 2. Basically, this is the Feral Flare enchantment. Outside of the change to the jungle items, you have the change to the jungle monsters themselves. The white has been replaced with something called a grump, which is a big fat frog, either that or my stepmom, I can't really tell, and the wraiths have been replaced with these chicken-like monsters. All of the monster camps now also grant you a buff if you use Smite to kill them. If you use your Smite to kill the grump, then you'll be granted a Poison the Thorns effect, where if someone hits you, they take some extra damage. If you use your Smite to kill the wolf camp, then a small spirit will spawn that will scout your blue buff area. Using Smite on the chickens will give you a buff that notifies you whenever you are spotted by a ward and grants you true vision, or like an oracle's effect, to actually take out that ward as well. If you kill the golems after having used your Smite, then you'll be granted an effect where every 4th hit you stun a jungle monster. In addition, the blue buff and red buff will give you benefits for smiting them, but they will grant you these benefits instantly, not after the camp has died. If you smite the blue buff, it will give you a whole bunch of mana, and likewise if you smite the red buff, it will give you a whole bunch of health. There's also a new jungle monster called the Scuttle Crab, which lives in both the top and bottom rivers. This crab is a pacifist, meaning it won't attack you, and when you kill it, it grants you small vision in front of either the dragon or the baron, depending on whether you killed the crab in the top river or the bottom river, and also give you a speed shrine in that area. And finally, there are changes to the way baron and dragon work too. Aside from looking much more badass and being significantly harder to take down, Baron's buff has changed and Dragon no longer gives you global gold. Instead of that gold, you're now granted a permanent buff whenever you kill the dragon. The first time you kill it, you get extra AD and AP. The second time, you get bonus damage to minions and monsters. The third time, you get increased move speed. And the fourth time, you get increased damage to towers and buildings. After the fourth time of killing the dragon, you'll no longer receive any more permanent buffs. Instead, you get a temporary 3 minutes buff that doubles the previous benefits while also giving you massive true damage on hit. The Baron buff has changed by giving you some intangible benefits to help you focus on the objectives, like pushing down waves and pressuring the enemy. It still gives you bonus AD and AP, however the regen has been removed. It also reduces the time of your recall quite significantly, and in addition to that, it buffs all of your minions. Different types of minions will receive different types of buff, however the objective is still the same, to help you push down waves and siege the enemy. So that's about it for the new Season 5 jungle changes. I hope you know a little bit more now. It does seem quite scary at first, which is understandable, but I do intend on releasing a lot of videos to help you learn and pick up this new jungle. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who might also be confused on this topic. If you really liked it, you can subscribe as well for more educational league content, and I'll be doing more Season 5 jungle content too. You can find me on my Facebook, on my Twitter, and you can catch me streaming on Twitch as well. All of those links are in the description, guys. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.